What's up, guys? It's me, Brody. Welcome back to the channel. And to be honest, 2025 has not been a great year for movies so far. There's been a few pretty good movies like Mickey 17 and Dogman was alright, but really hasn't been a lot of really good movies. However, there has been some pretty great TV shows, and the one I'm going to be talking about today is Severance Season 2. Every now and then, a movie or a show comes along that is truly captivating and mind-blowing. It's written so well, has incredible performances, editing, music, just everything about it works. Everything lines up and meshes together so well to create just a final product that is truly art. And this is what I'd say about Severance. So if you didn't know, Severance is a sci-fi thriller drama type show about employees whose minds have been severed between their work life and their outside life, mostly to deal with trauma or PTSD stuff. Anyway, so they work at a company called Lumen, and the first season, we learn about the real conditions down in the Severed Hall, the mysterious lies being told to them, and just the cruelties and immorality of this procedure of severance. But the main point, it all leads up to the finale where we learn, spoiler alert, our main character Mark, played by Adam Scott, his wife, his Audi's wife, who died, was the reason he was severed, but we learn at the end of the finale that she is still alive. And that's basically what Season 2 is all about. Kitty cat. And yeah. Well, I went into this season, I was ready. The finale of Season 1 had me friggin' pumped. It ends on like a cliffhanging note, and thankfully I didn't have to wait the 2 years because I didn't watch it until, I'm glad to say, Season 2 is miles better than Season 1. Season 1 was awesome, just a great show. But Season 2 is truly captivating in every single way. And I don't know how it could have been done better. This is the kind of show that makes me want to be a film writer or a show writer. A couple years back, Across the Spider-Verse made me feel the same way, and this show is just in the same way, just brilliantly written. Throughout the series, we learn more and more about what's happening to his wife, where she is, and we get mysterious hints here and there, and then we eventually we get fully fleshed out what's happening to her in a flashback episode. And yeah, I thought every single episode was at least an 8, 9 out of 10. Great. Fantastic. It just subverts your expectations left and right. I'd say the characters are written very well. Especially, I'd say, Mark and Haley. And their relationship goes from like a hate to a love story in the second season. All the characters are written well. Their innies and their outies feel like completely different characters. Like, it's crazy how you can hate Haley's outie, who is like the owner, one of the owners of Lumen, and is putting her through all this. And then you can love her innie because she's just so well written. She's funny. She shows care and compassion for the other innies. She's not afraid to fight back against the Lumen. And yeah, all the characters you care about. Eventually we get to the point where we learn if Gemma is able to be rescued from the hidden severed floor in Lumen, then that would probably take down Lumen, meaning the innies would cease to exist. And that's another one of the really thought-provoking things about this show. Who deserves to be happy? Should Mark's innie just stay with Helly and live out his life and let Gemma die down there? Or die to let her out, to bring her back to the world, but then he loses his life? So it's like, who deserves to be happy? Who gets a life in this insane situation? All the characters are fleshed out well, even characters just you hated in the last season. We learn more about Miss Cobell, learn about her backstory, her betrayal by Lumen, she's just being manipulated. Some of our innies are fired, meaning they basically die, which just kicks it into high gear for the rest of the series, as Mark's Audi is making a plan with Mrs. Cobell to get into the floor that Irving left instructions to, the floor that will take them down to where Miss Casey is, and then Mark can rescue her. Anyway, so all that is done very well throughout. We learn more and more about what's happening to Gemma. We learn about how Gemma and Mark's relationship was like declining in quality over the years, and they were becoming more like angry at each other. And that just makes you think even more, if they weren't happy together, do Mark's innie and Helly deserve to be together more than Mark's Audi and Gemma? And it really makes you think. The performances in this show are spectacular. Adam Scott, who's usually a comedic actor, surprisingly gives an incredible dramatic performance. Like, so convincing. You can definitely separate his innie from his outie just based on the performance. The twists and turns throughout the show, the more we learn about the fact that our innies, some of them are actually the outies, they've been faking it. These twists and turns are just completely unexpected. You get slight hints, and then, yeah, and they cause major conflicts and feelings of betrayal. The finale, I'll say, was so incredibly well done. It's suspenseful all the way throughout. It's triumphant at times when Dylan and the marching band, they have to stop Mr. Milchick from reaching Mark, who's trying to find Gemma. But another thing that I think is going to play majorly into the next season is that Mark finds the door that will lead him to the floor where Gemma is, Cold Harbor, which is his project that he's supposed to be completing. Okay, I have to talk about this real quick. Cold Harbor and all the projects, the fact that Mark had been working, the reason that we'd seen in Season 1 all these feelings that were being caused by them grouping the numbers is because each of the projects was one of Gemma's tempers that they were separating into a separate part of her mind, another severed identity. Which I was like, holy, that is incredible. They've been planning that since early season 1, and that's why sometimes when they group the numbers, it would feel terrifying, or they would feel sad, or angry. It's because these were each of her tempers, her feelings that were being separated into different identities that would be in different rooms down there. And the fact that Mark himself had been separating his own wife's feelings into different areas until he finished it, that if he had not known that she would have just died, is just insane, man. This show is just so well written. I just admire the writers of the show in every way. Feels like everything's planned out, everything ties in together. We find out about the weird goat room that we see in the first season. They sacrificed the goats. They were trying to find the best goat to sacrifice with Gemma. So that was a little weird, but I don't know, just gave a reason, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so the one major thing that I think is going to play into the next season, other than Lumen being sued and such, is During the finale, Mark's Innie is holding a gun to the fat bearded dude who is kind of evil, and he's gonna sacrifice the goat for Gemma. And basically, Mark's holding a gun to him, and he gets in the elevator to go down to Gemma's floor where they're holding her in all these different rooms. But Mark's Audi, when he's switching in between, accidentally pulls the trigger and it kills him. And the blood gets all over Mark. But the thing is, that blood, he uses it when he needs to get into Gemma's room. The only way in is through a finger prick that's on the door. And it pricks his finger, but he has the man's blood on his tie, so he could use that. He uses it to get in. And that is just really cool setup, I think. But the thing is, the next season it's going to play a big part. Mark is going to get sued for killing that man. But who is going to get sued? How will they punish? Who should be punished in that situation? The person who pulled the trigger was the Audi, but the Innie who had the gun in the first place. But should they even be punished since everything that happened at Lumen was just so absolutely like f***ed up? I don't know, man. And then yes. Anyway, I'm not good at this shit, but I just need to say Severance season 2 is the best show, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Top 5 probably ever. This is up there with my favorite shows, The Simpsons, Loki, Daredevil, Breaking Bad, all these great shows. Lost. This is really high up on that list. It's thought-provoking, it's morally divisive, you don't know who to root for, it's emotional, you don't want to see these characters lose their life and their love, but you don't want to see Mark continue to suffer without his wife. You want to see justice, but you can't have it without having the sacrifice of another character. So many things tie in. I feel like I've just been yapping about random parts. This is a really cluttered review, I'm sorry, it's pretty long too. Anyway, Severance Season 2 is purely incredible. It is a must-watch. If you're gonna watch anything this year, this is the thing you should watch. Incredible performances, astounding writing, incredible music and themes, motifs. I love everything. Everything about the show. The cinematography is freaking incredible, especially in episode 8. Okay, I gotta be done. Watch Severance Season 2. Bye.
One eye open when I'm sleeping. One eye.
What the dog doing? Beep, boop, boop, bop, boop, boop. What?